Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Seth Kniep, Keeping It Real. I am so honored and excited to be here today to bring to you guys some extremely in-depth training and something very special we'll be announcing at the end. This is our first time to collaborate with AMZScout. If you guys don't know who AMZScout is, then you are missing out tremendously. So today's topic is how to find high demand everyday products to sell on Amazon. And what I love about this topic is you could be sitting there at your desk or on your couch, wherever you are, and there are products around you. In fact, that's why I have so many. If you guys could see this entire wall, I have 30 different cubicles here, and they represent products that we sell on Amazon. And these are just everyday products that can make you a lot of money. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. But what's unique about this is we're going to do it in light of COVID-19 and a world pandemic. So again, I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. I'm so excited to be here, and we're just going to jump right in. So first of all, as you may know, my name is Seth Kniep, Keeping It Real. I am the co-founder of Just One Dime, and this company is headquartered right here in Austin, Texas. And what we specialize in is turning newbie Amazon sellers into millionaires. Now, when I say millionaire, I do not use that word lightly. I will tell you exactly what I mean by that, and I will show you multiple examples of that and why there's no reason you cannot do the same. Now, AMZScout and Just One Dime have worked really deep into the night. We're from all different parts of the world, so for some people, it's like 2 a.m. right now, so my respect to them. And we've worked for many, many days to bring you something you are absolutely going to love. But to make this as effective as possible, you need to decide now how badly you want this. So if you are ready to learn how to find everyday products on Amazon, I'd like you to chat below here and just say yes or hell yes. If you're ready to do this, give me a chat right now and let me know. Awesome. Very cool. Okay. Yep, I see it. Okay. All right. So you guys are on fire and ready to go. So this is Just One Dime and AMZScout bringing you something special. By the way, we have never released this before. So like this is brand spanking new. It's like hot off the press, and I'm very excited about it. In fact, what you learned today has never been taught before in the history of the world. Now, I know that's a big statement, but let me explain to you why I can say that. This is a screenshot of a brand new Amazon store we started 8 months before the next screenshot you're going to see. In fact, it was 9 months ago, back in July, when we launched this store. And I want you to see our first month of sales. We had $204. And one of the reasons I'm constantly starting new Amazon stores is to show people you do not have to have a seasoned, established, long-term, well-trusted by Amazon store in order to make a lot of money. And by the way, you guys, check this out. This was 8 months later. Now, just in case you think, oh, those are just screenshots or they're edited, let me just show you right now, okay? And by the way, this is one of 7 Amazon stores. I'm gonna scroll down so you can see, okay? This is not a screenshot. This is my Amazon store, our youngest, our smallest. And you can see the sales right there. So far, we're at 3,233 today, and we're over 100,000. This is my Amazon store. This is my Amazon app, okay? So I want you to know everything you see comes from my heart and from my life. And we do this so that you realize you do not have to be some kind of special expert in order to pull this off or have a long, long history of sales in order to do this. Now, let me just see in the chat, and I want you to tell me if you are hungry to learn how to do this. So everybody just chat me right now, chat me below, tell me if you really, really want to see this happen for you and your business. Okay? Okay, awesome, cool. I see the chats coming in. Okay, that's super cool. Okay, so my second question then is, first of all, step one, decide if you want this. Second question, you need to decide if you want me and my team to help you. Do you want my team to help you do exactly what we did on a new Amazon store in just 9 months? And this is not something we do in just a few product categories. We've done it with multi-million-dollar brands. We've done it with brands we built from complete scratch. I could go on and tell you. I'll just give you a simple example. Just recently, the first shark on Shark Tank reached out to us, his business partner, their business, and they said, would you guys, just one dime, please run our entire Amazon store? Run the Amazon store, run all the marketing, because we need help. And this is Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank. This is like way back even before Kevin O'Leary. That is the caliber of training we provide, and that is the caliber of knowledge you are going to get today. Every couple weeks, what I did as we started this new Amazon store is I took a screenshot of sales, and some of them were from my phone and some of them were from my computer. And you're going to see this here. In fact, I'm just going to play it now so you guys can see it. And I did this to motivate myself. And each couple of weeks, we noticed we continued to grow. We continued to grow. And our profits are up and down and all over the place, but we continue to grow this store. And as you can see here, it just continued to expand every single week. A lot of people say, well, Seth, how did you do this in just a few months, in under a year? How did you go from 0 to over 100,000 in just 8 months? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. First, I've been doing this for a long time, training entrepreneurs. I have trained thousands of Amazon sellers. I have 9 people who've turned into millionaires and many more doing over 100,000, some 500,000 a month. In fact, I just got an Instagram message from someone. He did 530,000 in the last 30 days. And he just messaged me on my personal Instagram. I asked his permission and I shared it with the world. But I want to tell you about the biggest obstacle I promise you will encounter. This Amazon seller, this lady here, came to me in New York asking for help. She was doing extremely well on Amazon, but she was stopped by the fiercest obstacle known to humanity when trying to accomplish something amazing. And I promise, if you haven't encountered this yet, at some point you will encounter it. I've encountered it many times. And if you can learn to overcome this obstacle, everything becomes so much easier. And it is simply the obstacle of disbelief. This one obstacle has been the downfall of countless new Amazon sellers trying to achieve something extraordinary. And there's a lot of trainers out there avoid talking about this obstacle because they want to make everything look easy, because then you're more likely to buy into their program. I will not tell you it's easy. I live and breathe this every day. I work with multiple coaches. I work with people in over 100 countries. It is not easy. But I do want you to become a millionaire. And in order to do that, you've got to overcome this obstacle. And here's the amazing part, you guys. You have the power right now to remove this obstacle. So my question is, why are you here today? Could you chat below, please? Just tell me, what's the reason you're here? Why did you show up today? What is the reason you're here right now? I would love to see your chats. Why are you guys here? Honestly, like, what brought you here? You probably got an email from me or from AMZScout. What brought you here today? Okay, so to make money, yep. To learn how to sell on Amazon, yep. To figure out what the special announcement is, okay. To listen to Seth, okay, got it, yep. So let me ask you another question. How badly do you want this? I have met, this is gonna be very blunt, I have met more wannapreneurs than entrepreneurs in my life. They want it, but they don't want it badly enough. And someone's gonna say, well, that's easy, Seth, you just want it more, right? No, that doesn't work. Because the only way to actually achieve your goals is to address the deeper struggle. You can try to want something, but what keeps that want from being strong enough is disbelief, thinking you can't make it. And your mind will come up with all these excuses for not being able to achieve this. And then someone always says, well, Seth, it's easy for you. You're a multimillionaire. You're extra smart or disciplined or had really good training. No, didn't get lucky. No one handed me a big fat check. I was $24,000 in debt. In fact, I was broke. This is a picture of me when I was $24,000 in debt. I was out of shape. I was struggling in my marriage. I was struggling as a parent. My finances were terrible, and I felt entirely hopeless about my future. In fact, I had the best excuses for failure. This is me working for the richest company in the world, in debt, and broke and discouraged. I took this selfie right here after a very exhausting, discouraging day working at Apple. And if you didn't know me before this, would you have put your bet on that guy? Is this the kind of guy you would have followed? Because I was not worthy. I was struggling. I didn't have the knowledge. There were so many reasons that I could not do this. And I could give you 10,000 impressive reasons why I should never have succeeded. But I only had to deal with one big fat obstacle. I had to believe. And that was it. And someone's going to say, oh, but you're too old. This is me someday into the future. Or someone else is going to say, oh, but you're too young. This was me in 2nd grade. Or someone's going to say, oh, but you're not smart enough. This picture is not me, obviously. And someone's going to say, oh, you don't deserve it because of your past and all the mistakes you've made. I'm telling you, your mind will come up with so many very reasonable excuses that you don't have what it takes. And what happens is you go to a training like this, you consume the information, and then you don't act on it. My hope and prayer is that you will act on this, because you can do exactly what I have done with a new baby Amazon store. Every single one of these excuses, these lies we allow ourselves to believe, is pure garbage. And the only way any of these excuses can have the power over you is if you give them that power by believing them. Now, if any of you guys are like, Seth, man, I don't need the motivation, just show me the tactics, and you need to check out now, no problem at all. I will not be offended. Check out now. And here's why I'm telling you this. And yes, you will get a ton of tactics today, I promise. If you know me at all, I give a ton of content. The reason I'm taking time on this is because I swear to you, the biggest obstacle for a successful entrepreneur is not tactics. It's actually believing that they have the ability to achieve what they previously thought was impossible. So I want to ask you a very simple question. Very simple. Do you believe? Do you believe? I want to know. Chat me, please. Do you believe you can do this? Because if we don't deal with this, everything else I say is garbage. It'll be a waste of your time. Maybe you don't believe. Maybe a part of you says, well, Seth, I really want to. I'm here. I want to get motivated. I want to learn, but I have a lot of doubts. Can I tell you, I get it. I have doubted so many times in my life. You know what's funny? The only time I succeeded at anything worth talking about was when I chose to go ahead and take that step of faith and try anyways. You were scared, Seth? Yeah. So what'd you do? I did it scared. If you don't believe, will you give yourself permission to? On your journey, it is belief that you absolutely can and will succeed that will differentiate you from the competition. In fact, the level of your belief in your ability is proportionate to the level of your success. This student had 0 sales and lots of disbelief in his ability to scale and grow his Amazon business. So we sat down with him, we taught him how to do everything. And guess what? He still had 0 sales. He had all the knowledge he needed, but he couldn't get out of this mindset, and he kept doing stuff that was hijacking his business, sabotaging himself, and he didn't even see himself doing it because he had that lie in his mind, you're not good enough. You made too many mistakes. You're not smart enough. You're too old. You didn't start enough. You're not techie enough. All of those are lies. And so what we did is we shifted our strategy and we began to focus on helping him overcome his disbelief. And this is what he did his first 3 months at 40% profit margins. 3 months later, everything changed because his mindset changed. If you start with the right mindset, then I'm ready to work with you on the tactics. I used to teach Amazon selling by starting with the tactics, and I realized it's a big mistake because people get all this knowledge and then they even feel worse about themselves when they fail. Why did they fail? Because they didn't believe. Now we're going to do one more thing before I jump into the training itself on how to find these products. This is one of my favorite practices as a family, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we do this. We do this very regularly, okay? We sit down in our living room and we get out a whiteboard, and it's totally clean, and we all give ourselves permission to dream. Now try this, okay? Just try it for a minute. Close your eyes. Will you do this with me? No peeking. I see you peeking. Just try it, okay? Just close your eyes. I'm not going to do something weird and spiritual. I'm just simply going to give you a practical tactic you can use, okay? Just close your eyes, just for a minute. Now imagine in full color where you would love to be 1 year from now. Who are you with? What are you driving? Where do you live? Who are you serving? Who are you giving back to? Who are you laughing with? Where in the world are you? This is called visualizing. And as God is my witness, this simple practice, 5 minutes a day, will slay the biggest, most ferocious obstacle you will ever run into, and that is disbelieving that you can do it. It's called the reticular activating system. Mel Robbins talks about this in a TED Talk. What it does is it trains your brain to believe that you can. Because right now, a lot of people, they see an opportunity and immediately their brain comes up with the reason, oh, I can't do that. And then they step away from the opportunity. Then the next opportunity and they step away. What this does is it actually allows you, it trains your brain to say, no, it's okay. You can enforce these beliefs. And what happens is where your brain goes, your body follows, and you start doing actions that actually help you to get there. My recommendation is give it 5 minutes a day. Okay. All right. Now, let me teach you how to find everyday products just around the house, especially in light of the whole pandemic scare with COVID-19. And what we share today has changed the lives of people in over 100 countries. In fact, let me just show you this really quick. Just look at my screen. This screenshot here, I want you to see exactly where I got it from. Look, you see this right here? This is a real life chat, my friends, from Daniel Alvarez, okay? This is what he sent me about his sales. This is not some weird fake thing. He sent me this. Our students send me screenshots of their sales, and he's doing it at a 37 to 42% profit margin. Now, here's what you do not need as we start. You do not need special technical skills. Everything I share with you, everything AMZScout talks about, you can learn. You don't need special skills to learn this. It's very simple. Second, you do not need Amazon selling experience. If you're brand new, totally fine. Don't worry about it. If you're not brand new, we have something for you as well. You're going to learn a lot. Third, there are no black hat tactics. What do we mean by that? We don't do anything that is outside of Amazon's terms of service. I've been in places and in groups where you would be shocked at that, like the majority of people there are doing black hat tactics. And it's no wonder they're getting their accounts suspended and listings taken down and reviews removed. We don't do that. We teach you the right way. Because in the end, you do the right thing, it pays off. What goes around comes around. I believe that all my life, and it stands true. All you need is to believe and take action. If you believe, you move to action. You move to action, you'll fail lots along the way, but in the end, you can succeed and have results. I want to tell you quickly about a Just One Night student who believed and took action, Patrick. In fact, again, let me show you. I'm going to show you his chat to me right here. This screen, in fact, let me just pull up the screenshot. Well, first, let me explain. Patrick was trying to figure out how to generate enough income to become financially independent. He worked for a corporation kind of like I did, so we related really well. After we trained him, what I'm going to teach you today, he sold 80,000 units at $4 profit a unit in a few months. Guys, that's 320,000 in a few months. And this is his most recent screenshot. I got it from here. Okay, so I know there's a lot of fake gurus out there lying. This is from Patrick. I've met with him multiple times. I've seen his Seller Central account. What you're looking at is that screenshot right there. See it? This, my friends, is that. Just a few days ago, he sent this to me, okay? Over 1 million in a month. Now, carefully listen to what I'm about to say. What I'm about to teach you is exactly the method he uses. It simply works. Guys, give me a yes if you want this kind of money. I'm not going to keep going until you tell me. Chat me a yes below if you want to make this kind of money. I want to know. While I sit here and drink my tea, I'm going to wait for the chats to come in. Okay, awesome. Okay, that's cool. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. All right, here we go. Let's get ready. Okay, there are 3 ways you can become a master Amazon seller. Number 1, you can do it by yourself. Now, I'm going to give you a statistic that is simply a fact. You ready? It's going to scare the heck out of you. 90% of all Amazon sellers who try to succeed without professional help fail. That's a fact. Ask Amazon. In fact, that's a very conservative look at it. It's probably closer to 92 to 93. Here's one way to look at it. For all the Seller Central accounts that are opened, the vast majority, the majority of them don't ever get off the ground, okay? Second way you can do it is you can let us do it for you. We can actually literally build the Amazon store for you if you like. Third, we do it together. Those are your three ways, three methods, the only methods I know in the history of the world of Amazon that someone can succeed at Amazon. You do it yourself, you let someone do it for you, or you do it with them and learn. When you launch smart products, and I'm going to explain to you what a smart product is, it allows you to be far more effective than the majority of Amazon sellers. And here's why. When the product is smart, I mean it is backed by data, and data doesn't lie, it allows you to scale really fast. Some people say, Seth, how'd you go from 0 to over 100,000 a month in 8 months? How's that possible? I'm going to show you. You have to launch smart products. Most new Amazon sellers launch products that end up tanking their business because they're using outdated techniques. And what's really sad and breaks my heart is they go buy some outdated course, or they don't. They just try on their own, and they spend money starting their business. It fails, and how do you think they feel? They're discouraged. They're frustrated. They feel like they messed up, or they blame Amazon, which is the funniest thing. While all these other people like myself are making millions in Amazon. So I want you to avoid that. I'm going to show you what works and what doesn't, and I will not sugarcoat the truth, my friends. You can scale fast if you build the right product. So my recommendation to you is that you go into this, do not join the race. I don't want you playing catch up. I want you to be ahead of the game. I want you already standing at the finish line when everyone else finally shows up to the race. So walk straight to the finish line. Let me show you how to do that. When you sell your own products in Amazon, there's no cap to how much you can make. When you work for another company, do you think they're gonna, can you imagine, okay, me, 9 months ago, we scaled it to 100,000 in 8 months, but 9 months ago, we started our newest Amazon store. Can you imagine me starting for a company and 8 months later saying, hey, could you raise me to 100,000? They'd probably kick me out of the office. This is a recent sales screenshot from one of our students in Georgia. When he started, he had made 0 on Amazon. He worked long, brutal nights at a pizza restaurant. Today, he's doing over $2 million a year at 40% and plus profit margin. This is from one of our students. There's no cap to how far you can go. In fact, let me put it this way. Would you rather, and I want you guys to tell me below when you chat, would you rather be given $100,000 or a penny that was doubled every day for 30 days? Tap me below. Which would you rather have? Okay, some of you guys are saying the 100,000. One of you guys said, why would I take a penny? Okay, got it. Okay. Both? I love it. I get it, you guys. I know why it's natural to want to choose the 100,000 a year. Like, that is a lot of money you could have right now. It's very enticing. Unfortunately, this is the same kind of thinking that holds people back from selling in Amazon. They're so focused on the next raise at work or the next bonus they might win that they live for the immediate small little tiny chunk of change while missing out on the 100,000 they could be making 8 months from now. In other words, it's better to start at 0 and scale like this than to start high and barely scale more than a 1 or 2% raise every year. And right now, as of today, over 22 million Americans have lost their job from the pandemic. Some of you watching right now may be one of those people. My income, and I don't say this arrogantly, has gone up since the pandemic. The majority of my students' income has gone up. Our coaches' income has gone up. How is that possible? Because people are buying online more. Why? Because they can't go into a brick and mortar store that just shut down, went out of business, or is currently forced to close down because of quarantine. You see where I'm going with this? If you're trying to do what's safe and secure, you need to get out of the 9 to 5 and build your business. Oh, and by the way, this penny doubled every day for 30 days will become $5,368,709.12 within 30 days. You get the idea. Why does finding the right product matter so much? By the way, this is another screenshot from one of my Amazon stores, one of the longer, more established ones. Why does finding the right product matter so much? Because the success of your business depends on it. Simple as that. Now that you understand this, okay, you're going to begin your product hunt. You're going to look for three things. Number one, you're going to look for high market demand. Got it? Write it down, type it up wherever you want. Number two, you're going to look for easy market entry. And number three, you're going to look for differentiation potential. Now, everything I've taught you up to this point, I want you to let it simmer in the back of your mind, because your ability to assimilate that will hugely impact on whether or not the next thing I share with you is going to help you or be a complete waste of your time. Three things: high market demand, easy market entry, and differentiation potential. High market demand. At least 5 sellers, each selling 15 times per day. All right? You're going to find a product that's at least 5 sellers are selling that kind of product. It could be a coffee mug 15 times a day. This guarantees you invest in a product with strong market demand. You do not want to invest in a product that is just kind of limping along. When we started our Amazon store, our newest Amazon store 9 months ago, this is exactly what we did. In fact, here's what's cool, you guys. The way I learn is I do, and then I go back and like, how did I do that? And then I become super analytical about it and write down what I learned. This is exactly my plan. This is the whole reason I did this. I wanted to show the world you can do this too, and then teach you the exact steps that I took. This also indicates that you too could sell 15 times a day. If they can do it, why can't you? And on the other side of the coin, if you have fewer than 5 sellers selling at least 15 times a day, this could indicate too small of a market. And that is something that you do not want happening, because if your market is too small, then you're not going to make money. So this is the first thing you need to know about market demand. Very simple. Now, AMZScout has done something amazing, and this is what I love about them. It's called AMZScout Extension Pro, and if you don't know about this, you need to know about this. What they do is they allow you to see the most realistic overview of trends, saturation, competition, demand and supply, and they give you all these analytics and insights so you can forecast where a product is heading. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it seasonal? Is it just, a one-time trending thing like fidget spinners? I hope you didn't invest in that. And then it's gone. The other thing is AMZScout software analyzes all the data. So exactly, here's what I love about this partnership we're doing. What I teach you today, you can use AMZScout to apply it step by step. AMZ uses artificial intelligence technology. What that does is it allows you to quickly determine trends in a niche and understand what it takes for a product to get within the top 3% of Amazon's hot selling items. So use my data and their tool, you can make this happen. I want to talk to you about Pranav for a moment because he is so relevant to this. He joined Just One Dime less than 12 months ago. He followed exactly what we teach, what I'm teaching you today. In 6 months, he did over 100,000 in 30 days at 33% profit after advertising costs. And what's interesting and I love about this is he sells in Amazon India where the demand is lower. In fact, he didn't stay at that 100,000. This is from a little ways back. This is his most recent screenshot. Oh no, this is his older screenshot, excuse me. This is the one where he's doing 100,000. If you don't know what rupees are, 6.814, that equals 100,000 USD. And just a few days ago, he did almost 200,000 in 30 days. And here you can see one screenshot here. In fact, I just messaged him on Instagram and said, hey, I'm going to be doing a teaching. Can you just send me a screenshot of your latest sales? He and I talked the other day. He and I interact. This, and by the way, guys, this is just one of his accounts, okay? One. In fact, look here. Here is his other account. So between his Seller Central account and his other account, he has 2 of them on Amazon, he's doing right under $200,000 every 30 days, applying exactly what I'm teaching you. Now, we talked about high market demand. There's something else you need to know. You need a market that is stable. 3 to 6 months of stable sales history will protect you from having a product like this, and then all of a sudden the price goes like this, or someone undercuts you. They have a lower price, so you drop your price. So they drop your, and what happens? You lose your profit margins. It's a race to the bottom. You do not want that. So what you're going to do is you're going to check both sales volume and selling price, because this shows you, is the price going, let's just say, for example, the item is selling for $32. But if you look over the last 6 months, you can see it was selling for $52 and it's been consistently dropping. That would be a dangerous product to invest in. But if you look at its sales and you see, no, it's been at 32 for a while, or even better, it went from 25 to 32 over the last 6 months or even 3 months, that tells you it's trending upwards. That's a good sign. Now that's talking about the selling price. Sales volume means how many sales. In other words, if you look back over its history and you see this product, let's just say it was a coffee mug, for example, was selling 10 times a day on average for the top sellers each. And now it's selling 15 times a day. That means it's trending the right direction. Stable sales history guards you against the fad products or race to the price bottom type products. Again, I want to show you AMZScout. AMZScout here shows you exactly how to understand if a product is trending up or down. You can see this one, it's swooping down. This is the reason I want to protect you from failure. There are so many Amazon sellers, they jump in, they're excited, they launch a product, but because they don't have the right tools, they end up investing in a product that costs them money and makes them nothing. And then they just walk away discouraged with their tail between their legs, feeling like I'm a failure. If they had the right knowledge, this never would have happened. Okay, so we talked about high market demand. I now want to show you something else. Higher priced products give you an advantage. And I'm going to show you a very visual illustration of this. I use the example of a pet carrier. Now notice this one is selling for $23. Your profit margin, if it's at 40%, and we're just looking at basic numbers from suppliers and Alibaba, before any ads, is about $9.20. Now watch what happens. Let's say we do an advanced pet carrier. So this one is selling for not $23, but $50. Now you would think, well, that's, I don't know, like almost 3 times as much, 2.5 times more. Actually, it's far more than that. Same profit margin, all things considered equal, and your profit actual takeaway, the pay you get, is $20. See the difference there? Massive difference. Now, let me just break this down. There's a reason higher priced products make you a ton more money. And I want you to notice, as I go through this graph I'm going to show you, notice that there are 2 kinds of costs. There are fixed costs, and then there are costs that go up and down. Watch. Let's just say you have low-end headphones that you want to sell, or your friend wants to sell for $15, okay? But you decide to sell ones that sell for $55 because they're high-end headphones. So they're about the same size, same weight. Your manufacturing cost would probably be around $5. I mean, your friend's manufacturing cost would be around $5, and yours would probably be around $13. The Amazon referral fees on average would be $2 for your friend with the lower cost item, but they would be around $8 for you. However, now we're going to move into costs that do not go up for you or them, and this is where you get the advantage. FBA fees, because they're based on size and weight, for them, it's about $5. For you, it's about $5. Not going to be different. Same size, same weight. What about shipping? Same, $2 for them, $2 for you. What about the cost per keyword for ads? About $3 for them, $3 for you, using the same keywords. What ends up happening is your margins are drastically bigger when you sell a higher priced product because of fixed costs. Your product's price has gone far higher than your friend's, but the fixed costs stayed the same. You see that? In fact, check this out, you guys. Total profit per sale based on these numbers is $2 for your friend. Profit per sale for you is $24. That's insane. I mean, we're looking at a 10 point something over 10 times the profit for you, even though the selling cost is not near 10 times higher for you as for them. That's why higher priced products tend to perform much better. Now, let me just recap what we've talked about so far. I want to make sure everyone's still good to go and understands what we're talking about. Can you give me a got it, okay, in the chat below? Just say, I got it, if this is making sense so far. Everyone, just chat really quick, got it. Let me know that you're still here. All right, cool. Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to recap right now what we just covered to make sure you got it. Ready? High market demand. At least 5 sellers, each selling 15 times a day. 3 to 6 months of stable sales history and shoot for higher priced products. Next, easy market entry. Let's talk about easy market entry. If at least 3 of the top sellers have fewer than 100 reviews, the ease for you to jump into this market and absolutely crush it is monumentally bigger. And I'm going to explain why. This indicates a newer market. You go into a market and you're looking at all these coffee mugs and, oh my goodness, Seth, like everyone has 2,000 reviews. Well, it's been around for a while. But then you go into a different market and you're like, oh my goodness, there are just like 70 reviews on this one. There's 200 in this one. This is a good sign. It means it's easier for you to break into it. If shoppers are happy to buy products with fewer reviews, they're likely to buy your new product as well, even when it has no reviews. You want a minimum profit margin of 40% before any ads or PPC. This is really important because when you have thick margins, it allows you to dominate the market 100 times more easily. Because if all of a sudden someone starts pushing really high ads or maybe they drop the price, you already have all this cushion. It protects you. And people start looking at your listing, you're like, man, how are they surviving right now? It's because you planned it correctly, because you got the knowledge that you needed. The way you calculate your profit margin is very simple. You just take your profit, you divide it by the price you're selling it for, and you multiply that by 100. Done. Simple as that. Profit, what did I make? $20 off the sale. What am I selling it for? $55. You divide it and multiply it by 100, and that is your profit margin. A minimum of 40% is very safe. Let me give you an example. You have a $20 profit from an item. You sell it for $40. You divide 40 into 20. You divide 20 by 40. You multiply it by 100. What does that leave you with? 50% profit margin, which is really good. Brett, this guy, I could not say enough about him. He joined our team. He applied exactly what I'm telling you. We call it the easy market entry technique, which allowed him to scale his sales really fast. Just to give you perspective, Brett makes more on Amazon in a day than most people make in a month. More in a day than most people make. You know what's funny about it? He's married, he has kids, and he still works his 9 to 5 because he really likes it. And he's making all this money in Amazon on the side at the same time. One really cool part about Brett's story, he created this patent. An automotive company offered him $16.5 million for one of his patents. And you know what he did? He turned it down. He chose the penny over the 100,000 because he's smart. And he'll end up being far more wealthy as a result. Any of these people I share, I'm happy to give you the contact info. You can go talk to them all you want, ask them any questions you want about how they did this. Okay, 3 traits of a successful Amazon product. Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, high market demand. At least 5 sellers selling 15 times a day, 3 to 6 months of stable history. Number 2, easy market entry. At least 3 top sellers with fewer than 100 reviews. Again, this makes it easy. Let me just, I want to show you guys a quick example of this, okay? Watch my screen. Look, I'm going to type in, what should we type in? Let's type in stretch bands for workout. Now let's change it to exercise bands. Okay, exercise bands for workout. Now watch what I do, you guys. As I'm scrolling through here, what do I see? I see 8 reviews, 787, 54, 7, and 598. Let's go to the next one. I see 1,700, 500, 10. It's on the first page and it's got 10 reviews only, 999 and 2,000. The way people buy a product is by comparison. It's like when you walk into, you're in a shopping mart and you see all these different products and you go, gotta look at this one has this color, this one has this quality, this one has this thickness. They do the same thing on Amazon. And when they're looking at reviews, All they're doing is comparing. If all, see right here, guys, if all of these reviews had like 5,000 or more reviews, the one with 10 would probably not be on this first page because it wouldn't be getting enough sales to show up on the first page because sales affect your ranking, okay? What I love about this is because you have a mixture of, look, only 180, only three, because you have such a mixture of different numbers of reviews, people don't allow the number of reviews to impact their buying decision as much. See that? That's why it's important that when you launch, you're launching a product where at least 3 of the top sellers have fewer than 100 reviews. That means when people compare, oh, they have 78, you have none, I'll still buy yours because I like your picture, or you are fixing a problem that I can see in that picture that no one else is fixing. See? Okay, so at least 3 top sellers with fewer than 100 reviews, at least 40% profit margin, because that really makes it so much easier as you scale your business. You do not want to run into this on 10% margins. Make one mistake, one thing goes wrong, one surprise competitor, and all of a sudden your business is losing money instead of making money. You want to be wise with this. And finally, we come to the last of the 3, and that is differentiation potential. I love this one. Check this out. Okay, what is differentiation potential? All it means is you're fixing a problem that most customers are complaining about. Okay, you're fixing a problem that most customers are complaining about. And the way you're doing this is you find this by reading the competitors' critical reviews. This has been my secret weapon from day one. You want to know how we did so freaking well? Give me a second. Logging back in, Seller Central. How did we do 3,233 on our smallest Amazon store just today? How do we do this? Because we fix problems that no one else is fixing, and people love our products and they buy them. In fact, we have some people now, we've had this for a while actually, searching our brands. You can find our brand names are showing up in keyword tools like AMZScout, Helium 10, AMZScout, and all these other tools. That's because we fix a problem. The other thing is you're going to fix a problem that can be easily seen visually. In other words, I can go to your listing, I see that main photo, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can immediately see why your product is better. I don't have to go to all the fine line writing and all the bullet points to figure out why yours is better because you have titanium screws. No one cares about the titanium screws. It has to be a problem that people can recognize within a second and a half when they see your main photo, because people judge quickly. They're not going to sit there and stay on that listing for a while unless you give them a very strong reason. One of my favorite things to do with some of our students is they'll say, Seth, you know, why isn't my product selling? Like, okay, well, let me help you, okay? And so I'll say, what we're gonna do is you're gonna go to a search results page, you're gonna search your product, and you're gonna take a screenshot of all the products and yours. And you're gonna go to 100 people and ask them the same question and say, which one would you buy? And if at least a majority of those people don't pick yours, then you have not done a good enough job. Your product, your photo must stand out from the competition. This is how you do it. The next thing is you want differentiation that brings, oh, I just explained that one. Sorry about that. The next one is be aware of both perceived and real differentiation. So perceived differentiation is how the product appears. That's important. Real differentiation is how the product functions. In fact, let me give you an example. So let's go back to these exercise bands. Right here, you can see their main photo with this cut guy standing here working out. They say 11 pack. That's visual. That's very easy to see just by looking at the main photo and all these bands. That's very perceived. But when I actually get the product and I use it and I see it's 11 pack, that's real. Follow me? I'm gonna give you another example. Let's just keep scrolling through here. Let's take this one here. So notice I can immediately see they have 3 sizes, the turquoise size, the pink, and the purple, and they color coded them. That was really smart. See the one here on the left, everybody? That's so smart. I can quickly see we have different levels of strength for different workouts depending on where you're at in your workout regime. So immediately I can perceive they fixed a problem. It's visual. And it's a great picture. It has these here. It has a pretty woman. It has the lifetime guarantee. All these things like, wow, this seems like a very powerful, legit product. In fact, I kid you not, my wife has these bands. Go figure. My My point is, you must make sure you're fixing a problem that is real. It actually helps them, but it's quickly visible and appearing complementary. If you just fix something that you can't see in a picture, you're probably wasting your time. All right. So let me show you, well, I just showed you, but I want to show you now 3 killer methods for differentiating your product. I absolutely love this. You ready? Method 1, build a better solution to an existing problem. Now, what I love about this is you can build your Amazon business based on how much capital you have. If you're tight on capital, we show you how to do that. If you have a ton of capital, you want to scale super fast, we show you how to do that. We work with accounts that are hundreds of millions a year. We work with people who never even bought an Amazon product on Amazon before. That's what I love about this. So this first one I'm showing you is a very easy way to get in. All you do is you fix one problem. For example, toothbrushes are selling on Amazon. You read in the critical reviews that people are complaining about rigid bristles not cleaning as well as soft bristles. So you have your supplier build a toothbrush with softer bristles. What did you do? You built a better solution to an existing problem. What was the problem? The bristles were too rigid. What was the solution? Softer bristles. What I just shared with you took me, I sound dumb saying this, but it took me years to learn this, you guys. I didn't know this when I started. I lost $20,000 because of a lack of knowledge. I made a dumb decision. I thought I was saving money, and it ended up harpooning me and set me way back. You can apply this immediately on Amazon right now. This is a better solution to an existing problem. Here you have an example. Look at this. I pulled this just from a random review. Instructions not detailed enough. You know what I love about that? I can fix that so easily. I know communication. I know copy. I have a whole team who can help me if I want. But you don't need a team. You can literally say, oh, that's easy. I'm going to make our instructions with bigger font so you don't have to, like, you know, I always tell people that you need a magnifying glass with a lot of the products that you get from Amazon because the instruction booklets are so tiny. It's like it was written for really tiny people. Well, just make the font bigger and make it super clear and simple, and boom, they would have probably gotten a 4 to 5 star if they had fixed that one problem. That's an easy thing to fix, and you know what's cool? It won't cost me a dime more. It's still just a booklet. I'm just going to make sure the communication is good and the font size is great. Pro tip, look for complaints in the critical reviews that are most widely spread among the top competitors. I'll give you a very simple example of this. If you were here, in fact, let's just go back to our screen. Let's look at these again, exercise bands. Let's just say this listing, this one, this one, this one, this one. So these listings right here, hold on one second. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I had to move a window out of the way. Let's just say these 6 listings are the top sellers. They're doing more than 15 a day based on our criteria. You guys with me? Okay, here we go. Of these top 6 listings, you notice one of them in the reviews, people complain constantly about the band breaking. In fact, it's mentioned 50 times. In fact, if you were to mention all the problems and all the critical reviews for all 6 listings, this is the most common problem. Is that the problem you should fix? No. Nope, not at all. Why? Because when your shoppers are looking at, let's just say yours is one of these listings, and they see one of them has a breaking problem, but the other 1, 2, 3, 4 do not. What are the, I mean, the other 5 do not. They're not going to allow that criteria to influence their buying decision. They just will avoid that one. Now let's change the scenario. Let's say 3 of these listings or 4 of these listings all talked about the color rubbing off after when you're sweating using these exercise bands. Now, and let's say the combined number of times they complain about it is only 10 times. But because it's spread amongst a majority of the competitors, that's actually a more important problem to fix than one competitor having a lot of complaints. You see what I mean? Why is that, Seth? It's simple. When a shopper sees multiple listings talking about a similar problem, what happens in their mind is they go, oh crap, there's no freaking way on earth I'm going to buy a product that has that complaint in it because this is a big problem. If they see one listing with a problem listed 100 times, they just avoid the listing. But if they see multiple, they avoid the issue. And if your listing fixes that, and it clearly shows that sweating with the band does not cause the color to rub off, you just differentiated your product beyond anyone else, and you're going to get sales. Okay, method number 2 for differentiating your product, making your product better. You're going to build a new solution to an existing problem. And in this situation, we're going to use the exact same method you did in my last point, except you're not improving on a product, you're building a new product. Example, an electric toothbrush. What I love about this is it fixes the same problem, but it does it in a completely new way. Not just a better way, the bristles are better. It's a new way. It's electronic. It moves by itself for lazy toothbrushers. I'm guilty, I have one, but it actually does clean my teeth better. How many of you guys have electric toothbrush? I'm just super curious. Can you tell me? Just chat below here. I would love to know how many of you guys use an electric toothbrush. So you see how this is different? You're still fixing the same problem, but you're finding a new way, not just a better way to do it. Now, what's interesting is method 2 is a little more costly up front than method 1, but it's also harder for competitors to keep up with you. Again, you can adjust your Amazon business based on your budget. There's not just, oh, you have to have a product within this price exactly, or you have to have this many MOQ. Not true. You can build it the way you want it for you, in a way that works for you. I want to talk about James. James did exactly what I'm talking about. He fixed a problem no one else was fixing. He did over 91,000 in sales in the last 30 days at almost 34% margin. He built his business, still married, with kids, working his full-time job. How many of you guys would be like, Seth, I would love to see 91,000 and we'll take home 34% of 91,000 in a 30-day period? You can see examples of the sales. He sells across Europe. Now, actually, he sells in .com. I need to get a new screenshot from him. But you can see, guys, just look at this. 91,000 in 30 days. This is phenomenal while working a full-time job. How many people in the world would, if they knew they could just spend consistently, set aside time each day to work on something, so eventually it starts to work for them? Here's what I love. When I went to bed last night, I didn't have this much money in my Seller Central account. Again, I want you to see, guys, look, I'm going to tap, look right here, Seller Central, okay? So you know this is Seller Central, right? This is their baby store. I woke up richer, not because I'm special, not because, oh, look at you. No, because I decided to do the work, and I'm driven because I love my wife and I love my kids and I want to build margin for them, and allows us to do things we never could before. That's exactly what James gets to do. There's so much more I could tell you about James that is like mind-blowing, having to do with Amazon, but I can't right now. Method number 3, build a new solution to a new problem. Now, this one is really cool, and here's what you can do. You guys are gonna like this. You can start out, if you're like baby shark doo-doo, if you're like a really new Amazon seller, okay, like I once was, you just fix the bristles. You might even just change the packaging. That's how James started, by the way. You know what he did? He didn't change the product. All he did was change the packaging, and it freaking worked, okay? That's how we got going. You can start just, fixing a problem, and then you find a new solution to the same problem, but on this one, you're actually building a new solution to a new problem. This is to a problem no one has created a solution for. Egyptians have been brushing their teeth since 3000 BC. But in 1819, Levi Spear Parmley invented cleaning one's teeth with a piece of string. Brilliant. Most people would say, that's stupid. You serious? You think you can make millions off a piece of string? Oh yeah, there comes that disbelief again. I wonder how many of his friends, I wonder how many of his family, I wonder how many of his coworkers criticized him for this and said, this is stupid. And he had to take that disbelief that we all battle and had to take it and set it aside and say, you know what? I'm going to give myself permission to believe. Guys, I'm telling you, that's why that is so important, because you will run into, in fact, some of the best ideas, your friends, your closest family members will shoot you down. When I started selling in Amazon, even my own wife struggled. She wasn't critical, but she really struggled to believe. Like, I had this whole spreadsheet. I was like, look, we're going to become millionaires. I'm going to do this much. I'm going to double my dime to 100,000. She's like, okay. And she just kind of smiled at me like, okay, good for you. I'm happy for you. She wasn't mean, but I could tell she thought I was a little crazy. You have to be a little crazy. You have to be willing to take a step out there, just like this guy Levi did. So in method 3, There we go. You're building a new solution to a new problem. In point one, it's kind of like you improved your boat. In point two, you got a better boat. But in point three, you switched out the freaking ocean. See that? Each one builds off the next. You can actually use, this is actually a really smart business plan. You take a product, you fix one little tiny thing, low cost, right? You don't have a lot of money? Okay, fine, but I'm gonna make money. Boom, now you got 20,000 sitting in your account. You're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm now gonna build a new solution to the same problem. So boom, you spend a little more, you make a lot more. Now you got 70,000 in your account. And then you go, I think I can stay in this industry and create a whole new solution to a whole new market that no one's ever done. Now that you know the industry really well. Do you know this is how I became a millionaire? This is how I did it. I'm teaching you from my heart and life. There's no reason you can't do this too. The market is fresh blue water. Like there's no one else there, which means your competition is so minimal. So let me recap again, just to make sure you're following along. Can you guys tell me what the first point is? Can anyone chat it right now? Does anyone remember, if you've been taking notes, what is the first trait of a successful Amazon product? What is it? Exactly, very good. It is high market demand. Awesome job. Here's my virtual 5 to those of you guys who got it right. You're gonna look at least 5 sellers, each selling 15 times a day, 3 to 6 months stable selling history. Okay, who can give me the second point? What is the second trait of a successful Amazon product? Anyone? Exactly. You're going to look at least 3 top sellers with fewer than 100 reviews, which means the market entry is easier. If you go with products that have a lot of reviews, people compare, it's harder to get them to trust your product because people buy by comparing. They always do. It's like when you're looking at stocks to invest in, or when you're looking at a decision you have to make. You're trying to, okay, what church should we attend, or what grocery store should we shop at? What car should we buy? What do? You compare, right? That's exactly how it works. And the other way to protect, to make the market easier to enter, is if your profit margins are a minimum of 40%, it gives you a lot more wiggle room. You have more room if you want to run ads to promote your product if there's a lot of competition. Last one, but not least, differentiation potential. Method 1, you're going to build a better solution to an existing problem. Method 2, you're going to build a new solution to an existing problem. And can anyone give me number 3 to the differentiation potential? Yes, you're going to build a new solution to a new problem. You didn't just get a better boat. You didn't just buy a new boat. You switched out the entire market, the entire ocean upon which the boat is sailing.